Now. Hey, oh shoot, man. Kansas City just got finished making a play.
Really?
And what happened here? What happened here? Oh, they just
Kansas City
blew up.
made a play.
I think a fourth down run.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
So, so Bay, can you see it?
We got to make sure it's audible too. Am I correct?
Well, that's what I'm checking now.
Yeah, I got you.
Um, it says, yeah. So a stream just came on there. It said that we're live. Okay. So I see it.
Oh,
It says that we've been alive for 52 seconds. It could be a delay.
exactly. Well, I have 58 seconds, 1 minute right now, but yes.
Well, no,
Uh,
can you hear me? Can you, Dad, say something?
Hello. Hey. Hi.
Can you hear Dad? Sean? Oh.
Yeah. All right.
All right, cool. Yeah. So, all right. We should be good. Thanks, babe.
Thank you, Shauna.
All right, Pop. Well, we locked in now here. So I was sitting here and I was looking at the stats from this game. It was a really lackluster game, man. I sat there, didn't sell no cars, then we didn't do nothing. We were just sitting up there, and I mean it was crazy, man. I mean Deshaun Watson did nothing, but
Uh,
I expected him to do nothing because he ain't played a game. He ain't played a game in 700 days.
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't expect big things out of him today. This was like a scrimmage for him, to be honest with you. I guess the cool thing about it is that you can beat the Texans just because you woke up that morning. So it didn't hurt us as far as our record at all. But I knew he was going to be rusty, and it's not a true evaluation of where he's going to be in the future or whatever either. But he did display some things that were of him that was completely different than what Brissett and his skill set could do. And it was just interesting. Was it lackluster the game? Yeah, but I just wanted him to get some snaps.
Yeah, I mean it definitely drug out.
Oh, big
Definitely
time.
drug out, man.
Oh, big time, son. Yeah, big
So
time. It wasn't like I said before. It wasn't about um, the appearance or him being spectacular or anything. It's all about getting those snaps and getting real live, real time action under his belt. So, from that standpoint, yeah, it was lackluster.
man,
Yeah, yeah.
but it is what it is.
And a win is a win too. I mean, hey, I'm just saying, um, I've seen some interesting things though, man. I'm not enamored, man. Nor am I a fan of the play calling on defense or the schematics of the defense. Not at all. To me, it's simplistic. It's like you could tell exactly where the hole is going to be just by walking up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
It's troublesome. It really is.
yeah. I mean, ultimately, it it was just a disjointed game, and I expected it. I did. I mean, it was nothing that I felt that we could do to avoid that because Jacoby was obviously going to play way better than he was, and I figured that. And I mean, he was dealing with everything emotionally. You know, it was a circus environment that the NFL obviously promoted. But what you gonna do?
All you can do is play the game, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, all you can do is play the game, and that's pretty much all in a little nice, nice little neat package that you can really say about today's game. Period. Um, hopefully going forward, he progresses. We got some big games coming up, And the ironic thing about it is that we really not out of it,
Nah.
which is crazy. But with that being said, there's some big games coming up
Yeah.
that the fans are really truly going to care about. Um, the Bengals game is the Battle of Ohio, and that means a lot to us,
Yeah.
regardless, of any circumstance or reason. So I'm still looking forward to it too, and I expect for him to play a little bit better than he did today.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely should. I mean, but it might take to next year.
And you're right about that. I mean, I hope that the majority of the fans have that type of patience because you're looking at it correctly. What you see this year is not more than likely what you're going to see next year out of Deshaun. Um, Deshaun Watson is going to take games in order for him just to get the speed of the game and even the plays or the way that his receivers react when the play breaks down. All of that stuff is going to take time. So you're right. Your assessment that this whole year might be just that. You're right. That's the correct
Yeah.
evaluation. Big time, Paul.
I mean, I think now we have to show maturity as fans and just understand what we're looking at and how it's coming across. So, like if we're expecting for Deshaun to come in here and save the season, yeah, I think that that's too high. I think that we can realistically try to integrate him into what we're doing and just try to get better every week. But you're right in your assessment in saying that we're not out of it by no stretch of the imagination. I mean, here we can win a couple of games and we're still in the picture. We're still gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the cool things about it. Usually, first of all, you're right too about your assessment. Usually, fandom and fanhood and being a fan does not bring upon a lot of logic.
Yeah,
It just doesn't. But the truth of the
not at all.
matter is that we really and truly, it's a growing process,
Yes.
and it is. And but with that being said, there are other parts of the game that the Browns don't seem to be really truly getting better
Nah.
at. They still can't stop the run.
Nope.
They still can't, and the quarterback has little or nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Um, and the play calling on offense is suspect at times. It just is.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
those are systematic things that they got to get together. Period.
yeah. I mean, especially running up the middle. I mean, we get gashed up the middle, bro. And it's just like you said, we don't have the tackles to be able to clog up the middle. Just don't have it.
No, and it presents some really ugly football.
Yeah.
It really does. That's really hard on the eyes. But it was a situation that I felt coming out of training camp that for us was just going to be a weakness. Now I had no idea it'd be this glaring and this much of a weakness, but I knew that we did not upgrade that position whatsoever. It's like we didn't even give it any type of priority whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
we
like
definitely didn't.
no, no, no. Yeah, and it's really ugly. It's nothing worse than getting the ball ran down your throat on Sundays.
Man.
That's pretty
I mean,
bad.
well, today, I mean, Damian Pierce had a great game. I thought so. I thought he ran hard. He ran some people over, man. It was some glaring stuff. I said, man, yeah, like people was coming in for tackles, and I was like, ain't no way he gonna tackle him. Ain't no way. So I mean, what he had 18 carries for 73 yards. I mean, he was
Sounds
solid.
like 700. No, I'm serious, man. It was bad. It was bad. Oh, it was bad. It was a couple times, man. I thought he was gonna kill somebody on that field. I'm not lying.
Yeah,
It was bad.
it
And
was
see, the
it was
bad
tough.
thing about the bad thing about it, it seems like every team gets downhill on us 3 yards before they touch anybody. You know, it's
Yeah.
just bad.
But it's kind of like what we was talking about. I mean, I think it's the scheme. I mean, we're schemed for people to get 3 or 4 yards downfield before we even touch them.
Son, in all my years, in all your years, you've never seen a scheme that was intended for the opposition running back to get down the field 3 or 4 yards before he's contacted. I'm just saying.
Not three
But
or
that's
four
the
yards.
way it is.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be that way.
No,
It just shouldn't be that way.
no.
So, I mean, I don't know, but here I know that they got a lot to play for. I mean, next week was Cincinnati. Next week, um,
Yes.
we've had their number. We've been able to beat them. Like Joe Burrow's never beat them. So I don't know. I mean, we just got to continue. I mean, but Deshaun Watson has to play better because the offense didn't do anything today. It was all special teams and defense. And it wasn't like the defense was forcing, the issue. That was just unfortunate things that happened on their behalf that we benefited from.
Man, the most fortunate thing about today, Pablo, is that we were playing the Texans. That's it.
That's that.
I mean, I don't know how to expound upon anything else because that's just the fact. We could not have beaten any other team in the NFL with the performance that we actually displayed today, except the Texans.
Yeah, I mean the Texans were a special terrible. I mean, typically you have a 1 or 2 win team, and they don't look like it, but they look like a 1 win team. They look terrible, man.
And
I'm talking about
Pablo,
terrible.
it was so bad that it really doesn't even make sense for them to even be tanking against the Browns because either way they have our picks, so it don't matter. Right? They just couldn't do any better.
Yeah,
They couldn't be any worse than they are. They
couldn't
just
be any
can't.
worse, man. So I think they'll get back Njoku next week, so that should be a big pickup. Because I think that he definitely missed him today, for sure. So getting back to tight end, getting a little bit more continuity, I think that really goes a long way for Deshaun. Because with Deshaun, I think what makes him dynamic is the his ability to extend plays and to run.
Yeah, I mean that makes him dynamic.
Yeah.
The Deshaun that I remember before the 700 days, he used to be able to do both. He'd
Yep.
be able to throw from the pocket, then live plays with his legs whenever necessary. So hopefully in the future that's what we see. But today, it was ugly, and I knew it was going to be ugly.
Yeah. I mean, but it was ugly, but I don't think I expected it to be that ugly. I thought he would throw one touchdown pass, but I guess not.
No, um, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, what I expected out of the performance. I don't even know how to grade it because there's really no grade. The only thing you can do is just put incomplete. I mean,
Yeah.
he does even his knowledge of his playbook is probably incomplete. Much less the players running out the plays and how different receivers break off their routes and everything. But today was systematic. His mechanics, you could tell that he hasn't been in a game for quite some time. He was
Yeah.
throwing some passes into the ground. His timing was off. He looked like he looked like he hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah. But again, he'll be more comfortable in the weeks to come, and I could definitely see the player that I always want. I wanted him. That remember I said out of Clemson. I always said that he's going to be good. So I think it'll work. I mean, I know it'll work, but Stefanski has to scheme it up, man. He just has to. He has no option. That he has to do that. I mean, his job depends on it. I mean, it
And
just does.
and the blueprint for getting the best out of Deshaun is on tape. Those years that he spent in playing for the Texans, I mean, it's on tape. So what he does well, or what he will do well in the future, should be obvious to him. He should be able to take advantage of it. Miss, Mr. Stefanski, Coach Stefanski, I'm not really sure about him. I'm just not. I'm not really sold on him. To me, um, his play concepts are elementary, and I'm not sure if he's the guy that can be the leader and the motivator for this team in order for us to be able to really expect great things. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I think it comes down to that, like you said, he's not the leader of men. I mean, I don't see players rallying behind him. Just not.
And if that's what you surmise, then that's basically saying that you need a new coach and you need a new coaching staff.
Well,
And
you definitely need a defensive coordinator.
well,
100%.
yeah, and well, there's no question about that. But still, I mean, if you got a coach that can't motivate men and be a leader of men, then you don't have anything. You really don't. And and I think in a way going into this point of the season, regardless to whoever the quarterback has been, I think that it's been a common trend that for some reason he's not touching his team and motivating his team. To me, that's kind of been apparent for quite some time now.
I mean, uh, everybody can see it. I can see it. Everybody can see it. So, I mean, I think at this point, it kind of is what it is. That's why they haven't fired anybody. They haven't fired special teams. They haven't fired defensive coordinators because they kind of have what they have right now. And I think to a degree, they kind of made their bed and they got to lay in it. You know.
I, I mean, well, truth be told, and I want to give Jacoby some credit. He has played well enough to win on Sundays. Okay, and you still have got to look at the overall performance of the team. When if it comes to like I said, defensively, you can even break it down by positions, linebacker or D tackle or whatever. But it has really truly been a systematic failure that has us in the position that we are in. The
Yeah.
games that we have lost um, were not just on Jacoby or on Jacoby at all. And you still got to be able to evaluate um, this season correctly because in football you can't give out mulligans for seasons. You just can't. I mean, people the players are putting their careers on the line, their bodies, their limbs. The fans are putting their money and their fandom and their emotions all into the equation. Also, there are no mulligans in the NFL. There just isn't.
Nah.
Right. So therefore, hopefully going forward, they make some true evaluations about not just management either, not just the coaches, but even some of the personnel too. Because I can't say I've always seen 100% effort out of some of the players, and their body language at times is really bad.
Yeah. I mean, here, especially like I said, well, I was talking about Miles Garrett.
Okay. Um,
You know.
right. I mean, it's got to be a player on this team that's got to that has to be able to be the leader, the team leader that's necessary, and also be willing to put every play as being special and giving it 110% all the time. Now, I don't want to go ahead and make a serious indictment about Miles Garrett. Um, because one of the worst things that an athlete can ever be labeled is not to give his all the time. But it may be because of injury. I'm not
Hmm.
really sure. But it's apparent to me at times that his engine is not always running 100%.
Nah, I mean it's just not. I don't know what to really say about it. I mean, I wish it was different, but it ain't that way. I mean, it's just not.
Right, and it still gets back to coaching in a way too, because your coaches have got to not just demand 100%, but they've got to put you in positions where your talents can be maximized the best. What I guess what I'm trying to say is if Miles needs to come out on second down, or I don't know what it is, but they got to be able to get Miles Garrett to play wide open every game. That's all I'm saying. I'm sitting up here watching Kansas City against Cincinnati right now, and I just got finished watching Travis Kelsey, right? And Travis never takes a playoff. He expects greatness every game, and I just don't see that out of the Browns players besides Nick Chubb. I don't know. Maybe that was a little too strong. What you think, man?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Well, well, Nick Chubb, obviously the best player. Um, his effort is always there, but now I think it's worse because the line. But I think that the main thing that we're missing is our center. Like when Posick went out, I mean those running lanes went away, especially up the middle.
Yeah, there has not been a lot of continuity once the starting center went out, and that's true. I didn't understand why they didn't try to re-sign J.C. Treader at that point, but um, right, it has the continuity in the line has not been the same.
No,
No, it hasn't.
I mean because even on that safety wasn't on Nick Chubb. It was nowhere to go.
Oh, there was nowhere to go.
I mean, everybody would. It would have been a safety for anybody right there.
Exactly. Yeah, and that a lot. The center has a lot to do with that play. If you want to just use that play as an example, but I think I remember. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Our backup center also went out earlier this season with a
Yeah.
ending injury. Am I correct? Wasn't Posick like our third choice actually?
Yes, he was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a position of weakness right now, and it is.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But I think it's mattering on the field. But I mean, but it's not something that's sexy to talk about a center. But at the end of the day, it's affecting Chubb. But it's a nod to his greatness that he has 1,000 yards on the year because he
Oh,
hasn't really had much on the back end.
no, he really has not.
No,
He hasn't had what he's accustomed to. Let's put it like that too.
no.
Right. And then there's been offensive line failures as far as protection too that have taken place this season. Where you would think that as a unit, the offensive line going into the season will probably be the strongest unit on the team, and it hasn't always played out that way.
Not at all.
No, no, not at all. No, you know. But and then here's another thing. It's next man up too. Um, when you have injuries in the NFL, it's got to be the next man up. I mean, we're talking about the NFL. We're not talking about college football. Right.
Yeah.
There, you've got to be able to replace a center if necessary. It's just been a lot of little minute things that add up to death by a thousand cuts.
Yeah. I mean, but it's just like what you were talking about. Bad play sets, bad play calls on offense, bad alignment on defense. It, like you said, that's death by a thousand cuts. I mean, it's just tough. You can't really overcome bad alignment because you're already out of position. That's the reason why they get gassed so much on defense because they're out of position. And they're also small at a lot of areas. Like Denzel Ward is small. You know, John Johnson got ran over today. I mean, he's small. You know what I'm saying? We don't have like a lot of big physical players. Even like Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa, he's small. I mean, he's fast, but he's small for a linebacker. I mean, we don't have people that leave their fingerprints on you, you know. And I think you need somebody to thump you when you're coming up the middle or when you're just on defense in general.
Oh, I totally agree with you. The Joker, man, he's a wonderful athlete, but at the point of attack, he's too small.
Mm-hmm.
He's too small to go wrestling with the guards and the centers in the NFL. He's just small. He's actually more safety size than he is a linebacker. Period. And then they're still asking for him in certain formations to still be the inside linebacker too.
Yep.
And that does not help to strengthen um, one of the parts of the game, which is just having the ball ran down our throats. That does not help at all.
And that's death. You getting the ball run down your throat is death.
That's death.
Yeah.
Right. And that's not a thousand cuts. That's just getting killed. That's just getting beat in the face. And it's ugly as a fan to watch.
Yeah. But I mean, so who do you think the leader is on this team?
The it's one thing that is definitely true. The leader somehow has got to be Deshaun Watson. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the guy that's making all the money. He's going to be here for all those years. He's got to, at some point, be able
Yeah.
to be the leader of this
But like
team.
you said, he doesn't.
What do you mean? Okay, when you say he doesn't,
He doesn't give us all the time. I mean, remember I
no,
told you about the play that I saw in the replay. The play went past him, and he was walking in the middle of the play.
right? No, I said Deshaun Watson he has to die. He's got to become the face of our franchise. He's got to be looked upon. When you think about playing Kansas City, you think about having to deal with Patrick Mahomes. You know, Deshaun Watson has got to be all that. But when you talk about Miles Garrett, right? No, that's not his. That's not what he does. He doesn't have that type of personality either. And then who's another guy that's getting paid a lot of money is going to be here for a lot of years? Denzel Ward, right? He's not a leader like that. Uh, yeah, I don't know, Paul. It has to be Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. I mean, but here Denzel Ward cannot be the leader.
No, he's not even available enough to be the leader. I mean, listen, man. Denzel Ward, man, probably he grew up probably 10 minutes from both of us.
Exactly.
Okay, and I appreciate his efforts as a Buckeye, and I appreciate him when his coverage and he's healthy.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
I mean.
it's not enough. It's just not enough. I mean, he's not healthy enough.
He's not available.
No, he's not available at all.
Nah.
I give Miles Garrett credit. Like, I really truly believe that his shoulder is messed up. Okay, with that being said, I think he is playing with an injury.
Yeah. I mean, but at the end of the day, we can't do nothing about that.
At the end of the day, what did I always teach you? That 0 plus 0 equals 0, regardless to why 0.
Yeah. At the bottom, it is what it is.
At the bottom, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. And that's exactly what it is. And if I was the front office of the Browns, my evaluations would definitely be based upon it is what it is.
That's the only thing you can do. I mean, it's sad because I love Miles, man. I think Miles is a great player.
Man, I love Denzel. Like I said before, I think both of them. I have respect for both of them, and I thank both of them for being a Brown, for being real to the city, all of that. Yep. I do, but it's not outside of normal expectation to ask them to be special, because that's what we need.
Well, I think when you say special, you mean game-changing plays. You know, make the pass breakup that changes the game. Make the sack that changes the game. Do the things that actually change the game, not just in the middle of the game for no reason.
Be a difference maker.
Yeah, be a difference maker.
Right, win me a game.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, just win me. Like, I remember when people were talking about Baker Mayfield, man, and I hate to go back into revisionary history.
Yeah, especially when you bring up Baker.
Right,
oh my God!
But I'm gonna just hit on this just to illuminate the point we were making. I always knew that Baker never won games by himself.
He was just there.
He was on that field.
Yeah, because you always say he was just there.
He was just there.
Yeah.
He never made a difference. They did not win any games because of him.
You said they won in spite of him.
They won in spite of him being special.
Yeah.
As a Cleveland fan, Northeast Ohio fan, however you want to say it, I've seen one special player.
Who?
LeBron James. Okay, and during my lifetime, I was a kid. So Jim Brown had to have been one of those special dudes too.
Yeah.
Okay? But besides those two, who has been able to say, you know what, I'm going to put this franchise on my back and we're going to win games. We're going to beat the Steelers. We're going to beat the Ravens. We're going to beat the Bengals. We're going to win our division.
Now, you talking about since 99 or all time?
I'm talking about all time that I know of.
Just put them on the back?
Listen, man, LeBron James was able to put us...
But LeBron is an all-time great. LeBron is like a generational player. Yeah, I mean, but Nick Chubb is special. He's special. He's special. Deshaun Watson will be special. He will. He'll make plays, and you'll be like, man, it's only like 5 people in the league that can make that play. He'll make those plays, but he's not gonna make them next week. He won't make them this year, probably. That's the only thing that makes me sad. But he's gonna make them, you know. But versus like Jacoby, he's not gonna make any special plays. Like Jacoby makes good plays. Don't get me wrong, but he doesn't make special plays.
Right. Patrick
You know.
Mahomes is special. Am I correct?
Yeah, he makes special plays.
Okay. Joe Burrow has proven that he can be special too.
He can be special, but he lacks the consistency. Honestly, early on his career, he does lack consistency. He's not consistently special. Like I mean, he's average a lot, but then he's special too.
Well, no, he was special enough to take his team to the Super Bowl last year, right?
Oh yeah, oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, but you gotta. It's in tandem though. He was as special as Jamar Chase was. I don't think that he can do that without Jamar Chase. I don't think he's that special, but I think that he's a winner and that he is special.
Okay. Okay. One of the things I always found amazing about LeBron and other special players, like Patrick Mahomes, for instance. Well, let me go back to LeBron for a second. He is a special player. I don't know how we sit up and we define special, but just special, right?
Yeah.
LeBron James, when he put on his sneakers at the beginning of the season, regardless to whatever talent was around him, they knew they had a chance.
Yeah.
Because they had that dude.
Yeah.
Okay, when Kansas City traded Tyreek Hill, they knew they still had that dude.
Yeah. So that's why they're still good.
And that's why they still good.
Yeah.
Right. The Browns need a transitional player like that. Even to be as good as Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson in our division.
Yeah, but I believe you have that. Deshaun Watson is that. Deshaun Watson showed me a couple of plays this game where I was like, okay, that's that talent that I was talking about. That's that guy. Now, he hasn't played in 2 years, so it's tough. But when he gets back, he'll make those plays. Like today when he spun out of that sack. I mean, that's not normal stuff. Everybody can't do that.
And see, no, I'm not really putting Deshaun Watson under the microscope right now. I'm looking at the other pieces, like Myles Garrett, for instance, and him wanting to be great. And for him to, and I'm not jumping on Myles, and please, nobody out there, please don't hit me up saying I'm just a hater, because I'm not. In order to be special, you have to do special things.
At special times.
At special times.
In the game.
You have literally got to put the whole defense on your back if you have to have success, to be special. We're not talking about sprinkling a play here and a play there. No, we're talking about a difference maker. And he has all the physical talents to be a difference maker.
Yes.
And that's what I ask of him. To be a difference maker. To take the defense and the franchise on your back and carry us.
But he's not doing it. And you can clearly see it. I mean, it's right there for you to see. I mean, here, Clowney is doing nothing. So at the end of the year, they could just let him go because he does nothing. He doesn't put any pressure on the quarterback. He doesn't, relish in the fact that he doesn't have to be the primary rusher or anything like that. I mean, he's just they never call his name for nothing.
Jadeveon Clowney never had half of the talent that Myles Garrett has.
Yeah, but talent alone doesn't equal anything.
Say that one more time.
Talent alone doesn't equal anything.
But I think that's why I'm like being adamant about it, because it's attitude, it's expectation, it's hustle, it's desire.
That's why I'm like.
It's all of those intangible things.
Because it's attitude, it's expectation.
I mean, I hear you.
It's hustle, it's desire. That's why
I don't know. It's tough.
it's all of those intangible things. Because it's attitude, it's expectation.
I mean, I hear you.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
How bad do you want to eat? You know, how bad do you want to eat? Are you cool with just eating McDonald's every day? Or are you going to go ahead and bust your tail and put in the effort so that you can eat top shelf?
I don't think they don't think of it that way. They're just out there playing. I mean, here, and I'm just saying that from an employer standpoint. You got some people who just come to work to get to the end of the shift. You got some people who come in to excel during the shift.
Absolutely.
But that's the difference right there. I mean, the Browns has a lot of people that are just waiting to get to the game, to get the game over with. They're not there to really like grind and to win.
Well, we're saying the exact same thing in just two different ways.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you look at, let's say if you have a business and your business is predicated on sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, everybody can talk, you know what I'm saying? But then you got certain people that can close and certain ones that can't, regardless. Some people are closers and
some
other
people
people are not.
Nah.
It's just that simple. And I hate to say it, but right now, the Browns don't have a closer.
They don't.
But Myles Garrett is supposed to be a closer.
Supposed to be.
He's getting
But
paid
it ain't-
to be a closer.
It ain't working out like that.
No, sure as heck ain't.
Yeah, I mean, it just saying.
Right, it just ain't. Right.
Oh man. So I don't know what is going on with the audio, but it's like an echo. That's what Shauna did texting me. She said, "Yeah, it's like an echo, but it's on my side. It's not your end."
Okay.
Which is weird because it's like I can hear what's happening, but it happens 1 second later.
Right, and I heard, right, it seemed like I was hearing myself talk twice at times.
Exactly.
Right, so
I don't know what that is. But see, it's just hard. I mean, like people can't watch if the audio is not right. And that's the reason why I wanted to call Shauna in the beginning, just to hear, so she could tell me what the audio is like. But I have no idea why it's an echo like this. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end this one, and I'm just gonna call you back on here just to do a sound check to see if I can get the echo out. Because if it don't go out, then I gotta figure something else.
all right, man. Okay.
All right,
Well,
so let's end this.
Yeah, love you guys. God bless.
All right, peace.
Yeah, I'll be waiting for your call.